Hi, this is Mark. Congratulations. You have found this amazingly awesome show. Chances are you're listening to it right now on whether it's iTunes or Stitcher Radio or some other mobile app that allows you to stream this amazingly awesome show to your ear holes. And I can't stress how awesomely amazing this show really is. But did you know that you can also catch the latest episode of this show on the Tangibound Network? That's right. Go check out tangiboundnetwork.com. You can look them up and you can listen to it right there. It's even mobile friendly. What more could you ask for? Which means you can pull it up on your iPhone or your Android, even your Windows phone. Yeah, who has one of those? But still, point remains, you can do it. You can do it. Check it out, tangiboundnetwork.com. Listen to this show, the latest episode, every time. Check it out.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a Spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 284.
The sexiest podcast on the network who's not trying to come with something off the top of his head. All right.
Ooh, nobody'll notice.
No one will know a thing.
Perfect.
Exactly. Excellent. I didn't have to tell her to go to bed. The light just turned off.
Wow.
Excellent.
Nice. It's cool that your dog will turn the light off.
I know, right? Speaking of the dog, actually, I got to roll over here and open up the door because she's probably going to come down and start pawing at it. Hold on.
That should be a good time.
Entertain the listeners, Brian.
So, hey, everybody, while Tony's away. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I wasn't telling secrets about you at all. Nobody
Secret
was.
Time.
Yeah.
Man, it's actually because I had this little heater going. I just opened up the door and all this cool air just flew in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like hotboxing this room, basically.
And you had the heater on.
Except not in the fun.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just assumed you were meaning more like a Dutch oven than...
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah. Like, what killed him?
Terrible.
Like,
Just terrible.
If you fart and died from I know you can tolerate a lot of your own methane, but like if you were to fill a room with farts to the point that you did asphyxiate, which I can barely pronounce, would they rule that a suicide, or is that an accidental death, or how do they rule that? Also, what if it was on purpose?
You were alive.
Good point. Because I was going to say, what if you did it on purpose? Like you left a note.
If it's on purpose, it's for sure a suicide.
Yeah, like you leave a note and you're like, I deliberately filled this room up with my own awful gas.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be a horrible way to go if you didn't realize you were doing it.
How would you not realize?
Yeah, I don't know. Your nose is stuffed. I don't know. I got nothing.
Maybe it's one of those things where you go to bed, you feel like awfully bloated, and then just all night you're just tearing them.
Yeah.
Little do you know, you're slowly killing yourself.
Right. You wake up in a hospital. What?
Yeah. What happened?
What happened?
Like, oh, you've been in a coma for 9 years.
That is easily the worst case of gas we've ever seen. Like, in fact, we still have a vacuuming tube connect to your anus because we're still trying to get.
It's just running to the window.
Yeah. Like, what the hell did you eat? Oh,
just
man.
Got tight-fitting plastic pants on with a hose hanging out the 7th floor window.
Naturally. Well, we do like the tight pants tight slacks on this show.
The old these are medical slacks.
Oh, of course. Medicinal slacks.
Medicinal slacks. Exactly.
Picture your doctor writing you a prescription for these.
Yeah.
And you're sitting at home and it's like, doctor, I got a problem. My wife says she's going to leave me if I don't do something about my horrid gas. I've got just the solution.
I need you to pick up 4 pairs of medicinal slacks.
Yes. 4. I like that 1 pair isn't enough. I mean, 2, I could understand because maybe, you wear one while you're cleaning the others or something, but 4 is interesting.
Well, you got to rotate the slacks.
I guess. I mean,
some people might have to rotate them a couple times a day.
Right, sure. Well, they are tight, too, so you're going to have a lot of friction when you're walking and stuff.
Exactly. And you don't want to, who knows what sort of situation you got going on down there. You might fill them with a little particulate.
Oh, dude. I'm just picturing the fact that you have to have a tube long enough to run to the window from anywhere you go in the house.
That's true.
Or there's got to be a shut-off valve or something, so you can walk around.
So if you turn the valve on, like you close the valve, the pants just balloon up.
Yeah, of course. They look like one of those sumo suits. Yeah, until you can get to a window or right,
some sort of open environment.
Sure, and then you use your heat sinks at that point, and
the old heat sinks.
You go outside, you hit the button, the pants deflate, and all the foliage around you is vaporized.
Now it's perfect. I was in a shipwreck. Like, quick, close the valve, grab my pants.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now who's laughing at the guy who's farting on the sub?
Exactly.
That's got to be the worst. I never thought to talk to my brother about that because my brother was on subs when he was in the Navy. That's got to be just terrible.
You should ask him about that.
Yeah.
Because I would be curious to know if, like some guy's just cutting awful gassers, gets hazed or
oh, yeah.
They like fire him a torpedo tube.
That's what I was thinking is you just like, listen, buddy, sorry,
Or maybe they like they don't do taco night.
Well, I would hope you'd avoid those kind of things. Yeah. Cause
like if they would cater to meals specifically to cut down on the awfulness.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The only other thing I could think of is you just have to spend the night in the bathroom, basically, just for everyone's safety.
Just like, Jesus Christ. Private Jenkins has been eating nothing but Frito-Lay bean dip, Fritos, and drinking black coffee all night.
What a mess.
We are in for a rough one.
Sir, we've got to go. We've got to come up for air. No, I mean, obviously they've got a filtration system, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to breathe, because there's got to be oxygen, but just the idea of it is just, though. Yeah. In an enclosed space like that.
I know those things could stay underwater for months and months at a time.
Yeah.
You're basically breathing everybody else's ass air at some point.
It's so true. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, it's like, you've heard stories like people who tour, like comedians or musicians, when they're on the tour bus, and usually the number one rule is don't shit on the bus.
Yes.
It's like, wait till we stop somewhere and then you shit, because then everybody doesn't have to die from it on the trip. So, right. But on like a sub, I don't know. That's a good question. Like I said, I'm sure they have some sort of contingency in place, because it's got to be awful at times. Even with a good plan, it's probably still just terrible. Like in the engine room or something where it's nice and warm.
Sounds like warm would be the worst way to go.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is it's like that's where it would be the worst. Is you're in there and it's just getting baked.
Right.
Terrible. Well, welcome to Salty Language. I'm Brian.
I am Tony.
And, sorry you had to endure that. But you loved it.
But I'm not sorry at all.
Right. That's why we're starting off with good cop, bad cop, huh?
Exactly.
We need to work this out ahead of time, because it was supposed to be bad cop, worst cop, remember?
Fair enough.
That's all right. It's all right. I'm sure by the end of the show it'll get there.
It's a whole thing. I just Googled shitting on a submarine.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of links, but one of them was like six things that movies don't tell you about living on a submarine. So I clicked it, and it's just another link to Cracked,
okay.
and it's going to be like a 10-page article about six items, and I'm good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I may look at it later just for my own curiosity, because, like I said, I'm sure there's some plan in place. Like, I'm not, it's kind of like an airplane, if someone's just got rancid ass on an airplane, there's just not much you can do about that. The air gets cycled.
Yep, exactly.
The air gets cycled, but essentially, like you said about the sub, at some point you are sucking in somebody's ass wind, whether you want to or not.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. So, I assume a submarine is similar, in that aspect, but whew.
I would assume the same thing.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll just stay up here on dry land.
Yeah, me too. It's probably for the best anyway, since I can't swim.
Well, I think if you're under the sea... Oh, it's Jeannie from Salty Language.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
And from Shot of History,
Bye,
apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, and from Shot of History. And Gotham Lights.
And Gotham Lights, yeah.
Much better on those podcasts.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Damn.
I was.
Oh.
I don't know why she butted in.
I know, right?
Jeez. There you go. Well, I'll include the link on that Cracked thing.
Good times.
Oh. Yeah.
So how was your week, sir? Because the last time we talked, it was just before New Year's, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because we recorded Thursday before, because I was going out of townish. I went cottaging,
right,
for New Year's.
Right.
It was fine. Weather was fine. We went out there and just hung out with the family. We had our pals Dottie and Tony and one of their kids. The other kids stayed with their grandma up there, and we just played some games and watched some TV. And I watched Logan play a lot of Skyrim, which ignited a fire in me to play Skyrim again. And
right.
I only really got hammered on one day. New Year's I got awfully hammered. I didn't even know it.
Yeah, well,
one of those things.
You said one of the days you were going to, so I'm glad you kept your promise to everyone.
I did. It wasn't in the way I thought it was going to be, but it worked.
Fair enough.
It's like, because we my parents just left, so I was like, clearly there'll be beer here.
Yeah.
And there was barely any beer, which is weird.
Oh, wow. That is weird.
It is winter, so they clear out the fridge and stuff, but
Still, though.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's tons of liquor.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I guess I'm drinking liquor because we didn't bring any beer and we didn't want to spend much money because, we're still recovering from Christmas. As much as I love Christmas, it's still hard on the old bank.
Right.
account.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But, so I was like, well, we bought some ginger ale because, we bought a couple mixers and normally I don't drink the old sodas, but I'm like, I'll do some ginger ale because there was a cherry moonshine. I'm like, I bet you that'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was good. So earlier today, Jeannie's like, well, I'm going to make some spiced rum and some ginger ale. Do you want to try one? I'm like, yeah, it's fine because it's almost dark and stormy.
Right.
All it needs a little lime would have been perfect. But I'm like, yeah, so I had a couple of those. We're playing some game. And it was like noon, 1 o'clock, and I was getting buzzed. I'm like, this is way too early for me to be feeling like I'm feeling right now.
Nah, it's fine. Oh, wait, with the family there? I guess, probably a little early.
Yeah, I was feeling it. Then we just stopped drinking and we got dinner together and all that. And then, the girls were watching Netflix and like Tony, myself, and Logan, we started playing games. And I'm like, well, I'm going to make another one of those spiced rum ginger ale deals. And I had one of those. And it was just like one after another, the cherry moonshine and the ginger. And what happened was we finished the game. I think we played another game. And then I sat on the couch. And then I'm just sitting there. And I apparently just fell asleep because all I hear is 4, 3. And I'm like, Happy New Year.
It reminds me of when I had that party in 99 going into 2000. Because that's what happened then. I had blacked out by like 10:30.
Yeah.
So, and I just remember someone like shaking me and they're like, it's about to be the countdown. I'm like, huh?
I go, what?
Yeah. I remember getting up and someone handed me a shot or something, yeah.
Yeah, I had, but the thing was, I wasn't even, like earlier in the day, I felt, I could tell I was getting drunk.
Yeah.
And I stopped.
Right.
In the evening, I didn't feel like I was drinking at all. I never like had that like, woo, buzzy, warm feeling, nothing.
Right.
But clearly I was because I passed out and then I felt like fucking death the next day.
You got ninja hammered.
Dude. I mean, I woke up at like 6 because the dog woke me up. And I sat out of bed and I was like, oh God. I took her outside. I felt all right. And I came back in. A full bottle of water. I just guzzled it. Right. I went and laid back down. As soon as I laid down, I was like, I'm puking all that water up. I should not have done that. Right. And sure enough, it was all the water and everything.
Yeah,
it was
a
nightmare.
Good times.
Yeah, it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there miserable because I'm like, there's going to be more. And then nothing. So I brushed my teeth. I took a shower, but I didn't take a shower because my mom's got like a little shower bench in the shower there. Yeah. I just sat there in the water.
That counts.
And then yeah, exactly. And then as soon as I laid down again, sure enough, here it comes.
Oh, boy.
Round 2. I mean, and it was like, I think me yakking up everything from the day before was like longer than Rousey's comeback fight.
Right. I don't doubt
it was
that.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I just felt terrible. Like if I laid down or stopped moving, I felt awful. If I was walking around, I felt fine.
I'm just picturing you doing laps around the cottage.
That's kind of what it was like. Because like I laid down and Jeannie got up, started making breakfast, and I was like, I can't. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
So I got up and I was walking. I felt fine. I got a little water. I took some aspirin.
I should have just had the big full breakfast.
Oh my dude,
that would have been perfect.
Like Jeannie's like, hey, can you help me crack these eggs? I'm like, no, I can't be around food.
Yeah, right. I understand that.
It was horrible, and like her and I both think, because I looked at the can of ginger ale we bought. Yeah, it was like 30 some grams of sugar per can. I think I put down 3 of them plus whatever's in the moonshine.
Yeah.
So I think I just, like usual, jacked myself up with sugar.
Yeah, you'll do that.
And the booze.
Right.
Oh, man, dude. It was one of those mornings when I was like, why do I do this? Yeah, when you look at the mirror and you're like, who am I today?
Yeah.
Because this was a changing moment in my life.
Right.
It was not a good morning.
I'm more monster than man.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Right.
Like, Janie's like, oh, you want some bourbon cream in your coffee? I'm like, no. Just black coffee.
I'm surprised you even wanted coffee.
I love coffee.
No, I understand.
That was after a couple waters and doing some laps.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I was starting to feel a little more human, and I had a coffee, and I think around noon I put a little bourbon cream in it because I was like, it is good,
Right.
But fuck, man, not a good time.
Do not recommend, eh?
Do not recommend.
Do not recommend. Wow.
But we had a great time at the cottage. That's always a blast. And like I said, Logan took his Xbox so we could watch Netflix. We played some games because he's got 3 controllers now. He got one for Christmas.
Nice.
So we're still playing some 3-player games and shit. And I'm watching him play Skyrim. And the whole time I'm like, fuck, I want to play Skyrim. So I ended up buying a Neller Power thing for my Xbox off of Amazon. Last time I went like mid-grade.
Yeah.
This time I bought the one that was most recommended.
Okay.
Because you can't buy official Microsoft ones anymore unless they're refurbished because they stopped supporting it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yep. So I bought one that was like the most recommended on Amazon, and I just got it today. So I played Skyrim for about an hour and a half tonight.
Nice.
Start a new character, all that shit, because I have no idea where I was in the previous game since it's been over a year.
I never played it, so I don't. I watched my nephew play it a little bit, like, because he bought it and, he had brought it over and was playing it, and I was watching him play, but I've never actually played it. Because remember, I borrowed it from him for like a few months and never touched it.
Oh man, it's so good. It
Looking
really
back, I don't know why. I clearly should have. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it anymore. Otherwise, I'd.
Well, I love the fact that I have one of the DLCs. I've got the DLC that allows you to like buy property and build a house, which is cool because you actually have to like make hinges and shit. It's very in depth.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, because watching Logan play, he got the special edition for Christmas, so it comes with all the DLC already,
right?
And it's got like there's DLC that's this group of like church going folk basically trying to kill vampires, and there's like 3 different DLCs,
right?
So I'm like, well, for the Xbox 360, surely this stuff is discounted.
No,
it's all full. Like for one DLC, the one I already own, of course.
Yeah.
That's $20.
Yeah.
I can buy for the 360 the Legendary Edition of Skyrim with all the DLC for $20.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you couldn't buy that version, sure, why not make as much money as you can? Absolutely. But when you can buy that version, it's like, why would I waste $20 here if I can just walk into Target and I own it for $20 and I have all the stuff now? Yeah, that's
and I mean the only reason I probably won't do that is because I'm pretty sure I am going to upgrade to a next gen system at some point. I'd rather just buy the super sexy graphic Skyrim that's out now.
See, that's my issue. Is it's like as much as I'd like to play Skyrim, I'm kind of like, they just put out that.
If you're going to play it, get it for the PS4.
Right, but see, that's
because the graphics are incredible on the Xbox One.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is it's it kind of stinks that I'm because price wise, like you said, for $20 I can get all the things and play it on my Xbox 360, or I can spend $60 and get none of the things and play it on my PlayStation.
Well, you can buy it like the one Logan has all the DLC.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay,
yeah, it's just called like the Legendary Edition or something.
Yeah, it's still $60 or whatever.
$60.
Yeah, exactly. So
the bonus you would have if you got it for PS4 as opposed to 360 is one, the graphics are amazing.
Right, absolutely.
Like there's a mountain called the Throat of the World, and on the 360, if you go up there, you just look, it's all clouds because you're so high up. Mm. If you're on the Xbox One, you look and you can see all the cities because the rendering is so amazing, you know?
That makes sense, sure.
So there's that and all the mods people come up with.
Oh, yeah.
At least for the Xbox One. I don't know if it's the same for PS4. I would assume it is, but I don't know. But, like, you can download mods and add them to your game that people create. So, like, Logan's got a regular character that he plays, and then he's got a mod game. I like his mod game. The guys run around with like lightsabers and shit.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll go that route then. Cause I was kind of thinking of it anyway. Cause the last time I was in Target and I saw the, all the things edition for like 20 or whatever it was, or 30, whatever it was. And I was kind of considering it, but I was like, nah, I should probably, if I'm going to get it, the other thing too is I could wait on the PS4 one and, let the price come down a little bit, like wait till it gets to 40 or something. Although I don't know with that game because it's been so popular for so
it's
long.
like it's one of those games that you can, like, I was blown away because Tony was there too, I imagine. And apparently he's played so much Skyrim that he's got like encyclopedic knowledge of the game.
Oh, wow.
Like, he's like, oh, this dungeon. Yeah, if you go around this corner, it should be a treasure chest. You go, he knows way too much about it.
Wow. Yeah.
To the point that it was almost like you need to play something else.
Right. Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah. But I mean, I know he's a big like D&D guy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and it's basically like the character I decide I'm going to play. I'm going to play a necromancer because I've never done it.
Mm-hmm.
So, my dude I got now has been raising zombies and shit, and it's cool. And then eventually he'll be able to have a small army with him, which is nice.
Sure. Yeah.
But
that's actually what
flip side,
I'm waiting for Diablo when they put out their next DLC for Diablo. There's going to be a necromancer in that finally. So I can't wait for that. Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't upgraded my Xbox Live account to play people.
Right.
But I got to actually play some Xbox today, which is nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Although
it's
my controllers feel wonky. Because I set them on the table and they disconnect. I think my battery packs are loose and.
Oh yeah, that's no bueno.
I might need a new controller maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
But I probably won't upgrade because, like I said, I'm gonna probably upgrade eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I just have to put a little tape or something on it,
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be able to just find a controller for not a whole lot of money, but.
Yeah, I've thought about maybe looking online, see if I can get a wired one so I don't have to worry about batteries.
Shit. Yeah.
Nice long cord, because who cares? I don't really,
Yeah. That was the way I was. Yeah, that's the way I was for a while. I just used the wired ones because I didn't really care, because I was sitting where I was sitting playing. I was so close to the TV anyway that it was like, it really doesn't, the wireless doesn't do anything for me here. It's not like I'm sitting across the room. If I sat on the couch, then yeah, sure, I need, a wireless one, but if I'm sitting right next to the thing, it's like, who cares,
Yeah, exactly.
And this way, like you said, I don't have to worry about the battery. It's just go.
It's just there.
Yeah. Cause I found that too, that some of the rechargeable ones I have, the battery packs on them, don't work. I have like 4 controllers, but, my battery packs on like 2 of them, I think, don't work real well anymore. The one that works the best is I bought, I don't know if you remember when they put out that controller where you could turn the D-pad, you could twist it so it would raise higher or lower to your.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which was awesome. And, it's the only controller I use. Really. And especially at this point, cause, I'm not playing with anybody else anymore, but, the battery pack from that one works really well because it's the newest one, But,
right.
Yeah. Good times. Well, there you go.
Good times.
Well, then, at some point you can play GTA again, too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I've been kind of, I'm probably maybe a third of the way through the single-player game.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to, see if I can't find some free months of Xbox Live or something, because I've been kind of itching to play, like, Halo and stuff online, but,
right.
If I can't, I can't, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I've gotten to where, it's like I still maintain my PS, or my PlayStation Plus account mainly because, my nephew and I play occasionally together, but him and I really haven't been playing much. So there's been a few times where I'm like, do I really want to keep just spending this money? It's not really a point, but I don't, what stinks is I have a couple of games that are tied to the PS Plus account, that you can only play if you have.
Oh, if you're whatever member.
Yeah, it's the only way you can play it is you have to have the account, because otherwise, as soon as your account lapses, you can't access them on your system anymore. As far as to play them, you could delete them if you want, but you can't play them anymore. So, what I should do is just burn through those games real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Plow through them and then be like, see ya, let it lapse.
And then do whatever I want, yeah. Cause like my Xbox Live account, I haven't had it for, I mean, I have an Xbox Live account, but it's whatever it is, the free one. You know, I'm not paying for it because I honestly, I couldn't even tell you the last time I turned on my Xbox. You know, there's probably updates and stuff that I should turn on and download.
Oh, yeah. Mine had system updates when it fired up.
Yeah, I should
Which
probably.
That was a frustrating thing because I couldn't get my controllers to work.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
I just want to update the fucking thing and then I'll figure out the controllers.
Right? Yeah. You know, I went through that with my Mac actually at one point when the hard drive was failing because the keyboard for that Mac is a Bluetooth one. So, and the battery died while the computer was off. And it needs to be on in order to pair it. Well, the problem was I couldn't get the computer to stay on because of the hard drive issue. And then I was, you know, so luckily I have, you know, my keyboard from my old Mac, which is a USB keyboard. So, you know, I just plugged that in real quick and I was like, well, until I get this sorted out, this is the keyboard.
Right.
Cause I told Henno that I said, in case you don't have a USB keyboard, I was like, keep one around. Because
just in case,
if the other one dies while your computer is having issues, you cannot pair it back up with it. It's really annoying. Right. You'd think that even with a Bluetooth keyboard, it's too bad they can't still give you, you know, a cord of some sort so you could, you know, plug it in case you had to. But
nah, the wave of the future, everything's wireless.
I know, it's part of why I hate that shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Plus, it's, I mean, I'm sitting 2 feet from my computer. Do I need a wireless keyboard?
This is true.
Aside from the fact that it frees up a USB spot. You know, I mean, I do like that, but it's just.
At the same time.
Yeah. Do I need? No.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you.
Yeah. Right on. Well, that's cool.
Sure, yeah, so I have been itching to play games, and it got to the point. And I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm going to admit it, that I've been playing Candy Crush Soda Smash, or whatever the fuck it is, on my phone.
Oh, you're killing me.
Because I was like, I need to play something.
Yeah,
and I can't find any quality iPhone games, and I like those stupid matching games.
Yeah, I know. I said, I've been playing that Marvel one forever, even though I really shouldn't. Like, there's no reason to keep playing it, you know? I mean, there is. I still have unlockable things in it, but it's just like, you'd think I'd move on to something else, but no. Nope.
Yep, I hear you. Well, that's what happened is I ran out of lives in my Magic game, and I'm like, now what am I going to play?
Yeah, exactly.
And all the games on my phone, I'm like, they're old hat now, so it's, I had to find something new.
Naturally.
Goddamn, it's like, I feel like goddamn, Dave Chappelle's crackhead character, whose name is eluding me right now.
Tyrone Biggums.
Yes, I feel like Tyrone Biggums over here.
Yeah.
Y'all got any more of them games?
Yeah, scratch. Yeah, I hear you.
So getting the Xbox back in my life will help that urge a little bit.
Right. Do you still have You still have Skyrim on that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you did. I didn't think you ever got rid of it.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at my game shelf, and I'm like, kids, where's Skyrim at? They're like, oh, it's at Emma's house, which is her grandma.
Yeah.
Because they have an Xbox in their basement. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of going to want that.
Yeah.
They're like, so we went over there earlier in the week while I was off to drop some shit off.
Don't lie, Tony. You went over there just to get Skyrim.
Well, that was part of my objective since we were there.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, let me go grab Skyrim. And I'm looking, I'm like, all right, here's Tomb Raider, which I've never played. It's Jeannie's game.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, well, I want to play that. And then there's Borderlands. I'm like, why is that here?
Yeah.
And then Halo 4. I'm like, okay. And then I see Fallout 3. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are all my games over here?
Well, you weren't playing them.
Granted, I know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yoink, I grabbed all those.
Wow, that's quite a catalog they amassed over there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I had no idea they moved that many games over there. It's like, Jesus.
It's funny. I actually found myself the other night. I've been kind of itching to play Borderlands again. Because there's still a couple of the DLCs that I haven't finished in the game. And I have Borderlands 1 still with all the DLC, and I've never played it.
I've never played 1. I've obviously played shit out of 2.
Right.
And over New Year's, we were playing the prequel sequel or whatever.
Right.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't played that either. I wanted to, but what I was looking for at one point was before I bought the first one for like God, what was it? It was like $7 or $8.99 with all the stuff, you know? And, so, you know, I was like, well, I'm not going to pass that up. And then I still haven't
That's a
played
hell of a
it.
bargain.
And, yeah, I still have a few games for Xbox I haven't played. I have Deadpool I haven't played yet. And a couple other games that and I've heard Deadpool's a really quick play. That it, you know,
Right.
you play through it really fast. So it's just a matter of, the problem is I get caught up in games like that Neverwinter or Diablo where they're grind games. So you have to play and play and play, you know, or like Skyrim kind of a concept, you know, it's the same idea. You know, you do one quest and you're like, I'll do one more. And then there's like 4 more that open and you're like, well, I'll do this one. And then 16 hours later, you're like, I should at least get something to drink or I'm going to, you know, have to go to the emergency room.
Well, and the thing of Skyrim too is like, you could just be like, I want to make some knives and shit. So I'm going to go mine some iron ore and hunt to get leather.
Right.
And you just spend hours doing that.
See, that's what happened to me in Red Dead Redemption. You know, I'd go out and start doing hunting and different stuff like that. And then I'd be like, I've just spent like 3 hours doing this instead of playing the main game, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what am I doing, you know?
I mean, I'm at, you know, I've only been playing for a little bit tonight, but I'm basically what I did was get out of the main storyline to the point where it lets you be free.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, like I followed the tracks that I had to follow. And then I'm like, okay, see ya, I'll be over here doing my own thing.
Right. Makes sense to me. That's usually where, I like to get to that point in games when I first start. It's like, you talk about games and shit that are time sucks that I have Fallout 4 sitting in my room.
Right.
Haven't played it. Still. I bought that game, like, I don't know, it was a couple months after it came out.
It's like, I've played a wee bit of Fallout 3, and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about Fallout 4.
I know. You'd think I'd play it, but...
Goddamn, Brian, get on.
I know.
I was actually productive on my time off, too.
Yeah.
Besides just playing video games and getting drunk.
Right.
I cleaned out our garage we have here because it's been full of garbage since we moved in. Since, you know, the house we moved into, for people who don't know, was my aunt's, who used to be, and before that was my grandma's house. So there's a lot of stuff that people have just been leaving. So while we were gone, I arranged to have a roll-off dropped off. And I filled that bitch in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. But now we can actually park in the garage and do shit in there, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, I thought I was going to get more out of the house. Nope.
No.
So we're going to probably need another one in spring or summer. It's insane, but it felt really good to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, we gave away some stuff. We got some furniture we're going to give to, you know, a charity. We recycled a bunch of metal. It still blows my mind how people make their living off of scrapping.
Yeah, I know, right?
We made and granted, I didn't have a ton, but it was over 200 pounds of scrap.
Yeah.
And it was like $15.
Right.
You know, it's like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get whatever. To each their own, I guess.
It's good money, man.
I mean, is it?
No, of course not.
It was nice because, you know, when we were in between that stop and our next one, I'm like, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, like, well, there goes the recycling money.
Damn close.
I know. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got ourselves some YMCA memberships over the weekend, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it's like no member sign-up bonus. That was going to be our big family gift to the kids because they want to start swimming again and,
oh, right, yeah.
You know, play more than the couple sports that, like, Leah wants to really play basketball, but her team is, there's a couple of, it's just, there's some twats on the team that no one gets along and the coach yells. And so she's like, I can't play this year. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're like, so I was like, fine. Well, and then we were like, well, let's do the Y thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I go, start hitting the gym Monday morning.
That sounds like trouble.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I remember because the same Y I used to go to years ago. Yeah. I'd be curious if some of the same people are still there in the morning.
It'd be great.
There was always one guy that loved to wear short shorts.
Yeah.
He had terrible form of everything he did, and he made the goofiest noises when he was lifting.
Now, let me ask you a quick question. Was this a guy that you saw in a mirror, or
No, this guy, every
Oh,
time
so it
I was
wasn't
like,
you.
all right,
Okay.
because I used to do the fuck are those things called now? I'm so out of it. Elliptical to like warm up.
Whoa.
So I'd hit that, and this is before I was a huge, like, when you first start going to gym, y'all gym goers out there, I was all intimidated by like the free weights and shit.
Yeah.
So I just stuck to the machines,
Sure.
And every time I'd be like, all right, time to do whatever circuit I was going to be doing. This dude is always in the way.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So that's just, and he always had his shorts on. I was always like,
What you should do is just start doing the same thing.
I should.
Short shorts too, of course.
Oh yeah. Guy,
Right. Or even better, go one step even further and just wear like a unitard, like the old, like the 80s ones that women wore over like the leggings, but no leggings, just, to where it's like hardcore up your ass while you're working and just,
I like it. Get the sweatband on and the big, huge leg warmers on my calves.
well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you gotta look good too,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be curious to see if he's there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Oh, Jesus. Well, time to unfollow Tony on social media before all the gym selfies come in.
Well, I took a Jeannie's old iPhone, and it's going to be like my gym iPod, because I don't want to be distracted by like social media and shit.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm very much that type. Although there's an app I really like for working out, and it doesn't work because iOS is too old on that thing. So I'm kind of like, it sucks.
Yeah, what can
Plus,
you
all
do, right?
my podcasts are on my phone and not on that, which is kind of another thing. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and forth. Who knows?
Nah, I think you should just listen to all the house music that you listen to, for working out. Make sure the first thing you do when you get in there is that, you get yourself ready and then you oil up real good.
Oh, for sure.
Make sure, cause again, you gotta look good, couple diamond push-ups before you go in to get your pump on, and then, oil up and then go in, much like you're just going through gorilla position, and,
You're goddamn right.
gotta get a wrestling reference in there for the kids at home. They're like, God, I've been waiting to drink this whole time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Here come the wrestling references.
Yeah, damn right. No, I'll have some later.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
All right.
basically, I really enjoyed my time off.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I went back to work Thursday. Got real sick of hearing people. How's it? You glad to be back at work?
Ugh.
Like, no.
No, who? What? Stop it. There's very
Yeah.
few people that are glad to go back to work after a substantial amount of time off. Like, if you missed work because of a painful injury or, surgery or something, then yeah, maybe you would be, because you'd be like, it's nice to just get back to moving around and whatever. But it's like, no, I just had time off. Why would I want to come back?
That's what I've been telling people. It's
Like, ever.
Why would I want to be here?
Yeah.
I'm here because I have bills.
It's like, yeah, it's like, you know what I do here, right? Like, I'm lugging and carrying it. And it's like, this isn't a fun thing.
Yeah, exactly. And boy, it sure didn't take long to get back in the swing of fuck this place.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Yeah. Did you oil up before you?
That was my first mistake. I should have oiled up.
You should go into the back room, the
into
workout
the gym,
center.
do some push-ups.
Yeah, do some push-ups, oil up, and then hit it, because you got to get the attitude as well. After you oil up, you look in the mirror, you see you got your swole on, and you're glistening like that, now you're ready to take the world on then,
Make sure I walk around with my arms like straight so my triceps are popped.
Obviously, yeah. Or you walk around like you're Vince McMahon, whichever.
Yeah, that works too.
I actually would prefer that. Like, I, walk around like that, or like Conor McGregor after he wins a fight when he does his strut.
Right.
Just walk around like that all the time.
That is a fantastic idea, by the way.
Yeah. Everyone listening should do that. That's just, that way we can tell our own when we're out walking around. We'd be like, there's a listener, because they're just strutting around.
Just strutting.
Yep.
Oh, but man.
So, you
Yeah.
know, oddly enough, you and I spent New Year's Day basically doing the same thing to start the day.
Really?
Yeah, except mine was mine wasn't alcohol based. Mine was, some stupid twat went to a family gathering and brought a virus to people that got brought back to me. And so I had a stomach virus that, you know, we recorded Thursday and I told you, I was like, hey, you know, I'm trying not to get sick. And then Friday I woke up and I'm like, my tummy feels funny. And I mean, it was almost that fast. Like I woke up, I was like, ooh, I don't feel right. Ran into the bathroom and here came the week before, you know, and I mean, oh my God.
Right.
I mean, I think by the time I was done, my socks came out of my mouth, you know.
Like Aztec artifacts and shit coming out.
Jesus, it was terrible. And, so yeah, I had that for about 2 days and then finally that went away, but I was still feeling like just everything still, like those 2 days I ate like 6 crackers across those 2 days. That was all I had to eat. I only drank water like sparingly because much like you, the one time that I was like, oh, I'm so thirsty, you know, cause after getting sick, you know, you first of all want to get the taste out of your mouth. And then second of all,
What do you mean? You don't love that
no
bile flavor?
Oh, so good. Yeah, no. And, so yeah, so, you know, I take a bottle of water and put about half of it down. And I was like, that was a mistake. And yeah, so.
A yak.
Yeah.
A yak.
Oh God, it was, and again, you know, it was every time was that like brutal, like, you know, me when I get sick, I'm a violent vomiter. So it was, so bad. So
Like, I'm pretty sure you start puking and like in the distance you see birds just come out of trees and shit.
pretty much. Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad though. And, you know, after a couple of days,
All the deer turned her head.
yeah, what the hell? Yeah. Ugh. It was, you know, so I felt nauseous though for like 2-3 more days. Like I started eating again, like, you know, toast and just really bland kind of stuff because I was afraid of anything, honestly, you know, and eventually I started getting my, my appetite back a little bit. And whew, boy, though, that was no fun.
There could be nothing worse than a stomach flu like that.
Yeah, because there's just no stopping it. You know, there's no, you know, like I took, you know, medicine to help kind of curtail the side effects or the effects of the stuff, but it was just not doing anything, you know, and
Right.
And from what I understand, a lot of the people who went to that gathering got sick. So it was spread around quite nicely. So everybody's like, you know, throwing side eye at the woman who brought the virus to everybody. So
Fair enough. With good reason, I imagine.
right. So literally for almost 4 days, I did nothing but just lie in bed because I just didn't have any energy. You know, it was,
Right.
you know, awful. And, so, you know, I told this on the Crazy Life, but when we were in Chicago, the one night when Heno and I were, when we got back to the hotel room, we were flipping through the channels and he stopped on that show, Chrisley Knows Best.
Right.
And, he was telling me about just how much of a train wreck the family and stuff are, you know, and how weird it is. So I ended up watching a marathon of that because I was clearly delusional, you know, or
yes,
delirious.
Clearly. You were definitely ill.
Right. Until I realized that FXX had a Simpsons marathon on. So then I switched over to that and watched.
Yeah, much better option.
Let's put it this way. They had 30 hours of Simpsons on. My TV was on The Simpsons probably 26 of those hours.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah, because I, you know, would fall asleep, wake back up, watch more, fall asleep, you know.
Now, imagine how amazing you'd be doing in Fallout.
Well, I actually thought about that because I was like, you know, I should have gotten caught up some more on comic books or, you know, I don't even think I had the energy to play a video game for a lot of that time. I'll
say when I've got some sort of awful stomach feeling like that, I can play games.
Yeah.
Reading though.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, I didn't even try. All I did was like, I barely even got on social media during those times. My phone was sitting there and I just look at it and be like, no, because scrolling made me more nauseous. So
Oh, right.
I was just like, I'm just going to lie here and watch Simpsons.
Yeah. Please, Homer, heal me.
Oh, man, so bad. But yeah, it was a good time. You know, I definitely lost some weight because I put a shirt on after a couple of days that, you know, normally is a little snugger, and I was like, oh, look, this fits.
that stomach flu.
Oh, yeah, not the way I would recommend losing a few pounds.
Get a little stomach flu, do a little Zumba.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Probably not at the same time, though.
So you got the key is you got to puke and twerk at the same time.
Yeah, well, the problem
Work
is,
on them glutes.
see, when you have a stomach virus like that, twerking may not be in your best interest either.
True. True. It actually becomes dangerous.
Yeah, let's just say always wipe the machines afterward.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was, you know, my brother came over at one point and my mom met him at the door and she was like, you should leave, because it was basically, as I said on The Crazy Life, it was basically like, you know, the scene from The Walking Dead when Rick walks up to that door and it says like, what is it? Don't enter, dead inside.
Right.
That should have been on our door because all three of us here had it, you know, it was, ooh, yeah, good times.
Not a good time.
Not the way you want to ring in the new year, you know, it's, no bueno, as the kids say. Do not recommend.
Yeah, well, 2016 went out like it should have, I guess.
Yeah.
In a fury of, you know, shit and puke.
Yep. Like, well, one final purge for 2016.
Did you see I posted on Instagram 2017's first victim?
No.
Tilikum, the killer whale from Blackfish, has died.
Right. Oh, that's too bad.
Yep, so there you go. The murderous sea mammal of SeaWorld.
Yep. That's all right.
Which, if you haven't seen Blackfish, you know, you should definitely watch it. It might give you the feels, and you'll definitely not want to go to SeaWorld ever again.
Right. And you won't want to eat fast food ever again.
No, you'll still want to eat fast food.
Oh, all right. Sorry. I got confused. I thought all documentaries made you not want to eat.
It was the documentary is Blackfish, not Filet-O-Fish.
Oh, now that would be. I would watch that documentary. So I'm sure there'd be some terrible stories told in that. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, I imagine.
Like, well, the first
I don't know
question
what a Filet-O-Fish is.
Yeah.
But I know, like hot dogs, they say lips and assholes, so I assume it's fish lips and assholes.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
Filet-O-Fish.
That'd be my guess too. You know, at least it's not spelled like fish, F-Y-S-H or something, you know.
It's true.
Like imitation crab spelled with a K, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, oh, it's crab meat. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Here's our Filet-O-Fish, quote unquote.
Right. It's like, it's just anything we catch in the net that we can't sell as whitefish.
Exactly.
Or premium fish.
So we scrape off the bottom of the boat.
Yeah. Delicious.
Delicious is right. Oh shit! You know what I almost forgot about, Brian?
Nope.
Well, I'll have to get into it on Dude Mountain, but a couple of weeks ago, this is how amazing Facebook is.
Mm-hmm.
We apparently the Roman Pod and Cast sent us a Merry Christmas message thanking us for Dude Mountain. It was a voice message they sent us on Facebook. Which for some reason I never, it never popped up.
I never saw that either. Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I noticed it is because I had another guy message us, a future guest type situation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this message? And it's a voice message. So I was like, huh. And then I couldn't listen to it at all.
Oh. So
I had to download the Facebook Pages app again, and then I could listen to it.
It's so dumb how you have to have a separate friggin' app for everything on Facebook. It's like, like they're like, hey, look, you can do all these things you can do in other social media apps, but in order to do those, you have to download 3 apps. Like, or I could just keep using the other apps.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Facebook Pages.
Yeah.
Fucking lame.
Yeah. I just
Speaking of lame, are we shitting on Facebook some more?
Oh yeah, please, anytime.
Oh, I thought you had some
No,
Facebook
no.
shit because I was switching gears to something else that grinded my gears.
No, go ahead. Grind away.
As I think I brought up last week, as I re-downloaded the Twitter app,
Mhm.
because I'm like, all right, let me get the app going because it's got the the fancy group DMs and the
Yeah.
polls and the in fucking app gift search and all this shit.
And you can go live. Don't forget the going live
and
part.
you can go live.
Yeah,
So I downloaded it,
right.
and I for some reason I'm never not getting notifications.
Really?
Like I open up the app and it's like 8 notifications. I check all my push settings, everything's turned on. I just don't get notifications.
That's strange.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's pretty lame.
I don't know why. Yeah.
So now I have Tweetbot because I kind of figured it out a little bit because apparently the notifications set to be tailored for me.
Oh, okay.
So if Twitter's like, yeah, you don't need to hear from these people, it's
Yeah,
basically what it's
that's
doing.
fair. Yeah. And it just turns everybody off.
Yeah, basically, it's pretty much what it is. Occasionally, I'll be like, "This person liked your tweet," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." But then I open up Twitter, and it's so annoying.
Right.
But yeah. So now I have Tweetbot and Twitter,
Right.
and I turned off the notifications on Twitter because I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
So now, like, my Tweetbot is for me, and the Twitter's for salty language, basically.
Sure. Okay.
But I can bounce back and forth from both apps.
Yeah, of course,
But God
right.
damn, is it annoying?
Yeah.
It's like, God, all I want is
Like
all I want is an app that does what I want.
I get notifications on my phone for the salty language and crazy life stuff, but I don't get notifications for my personal account. And it's because
Right.
it would just drive me nuts if I did, plus I'm usually, like when I'm logged in, I'm usually under mine anyway. So I check it enough that I don't really need the updates, but yeah, that's, that sounds like a good time, Tony. So
I just don't understand.
So this week you've downloaded like 14 apps in order to be able to use 2 apps.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes total sense to me.
I know, right?
Yeah. Tell you what.
Yeah. Once again, makes you just want to go just buy like 40 acres of land out in the middle of nowhere, have a tiny house in the middle of it, and some nice long driveway with like, cones set aside so I know the distance, so I know what rifle to grab.
Grab, huh? You don't just have them set up, eh?
Yeah, that's true. They're just already set up.
There's just like one side of the house and there's like 3 or 4 different rifles just set up.
Yep. Oh, they're 200 yards out. Let me grab this one.
Right. Every once in a while, you fire it off just to make sure they're still true, because you got to make
for
sure
sure.
that
Yeah, check the
vibrations.
sights.
Yeah, that there's been no seismic activity or anything that's, moved things around or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure. Totally understandable.
Jesus.
You put that right out back of the wizard tower.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, who needs a tiny house? Wizard tower.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Tiny house with a wizard tower.
Tiny wizard tower.
Tiny wizard tower. Now we're talking. I'm tiny wizard. Woo.
Nice. I'd watch that. Wait, no, I wouldn't.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. How about your, besides you puking everywhere and shit, how was your week since the last time we recorded?
it's funny because during that time, I was telling you Thursday, I was like, what's cool about us recording on Thursday is I'll be able to watch the UFC event on Friday,
Yeah.
and yeah, that didn't so much happen because, terrible. And then, when I saw the notification that, I kept getting the updates on the fights, and then at one point it's like, the Rousey Nunez fight is now, and I was like, oh, cool. And then it was like, almost as soon as that notification was fading away, the next one pops up that was like, yeah, Rousey got her ass kicked.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know if I was terribly surprised by it
yeah.
because I saw some of the pre-fight stuff and Nunez she just looks fucking hungry still.
Yeah.
Even as the champ.
Yeah. And, well, the other thing too, I think with Rousey, I saw a lot of criticism of this and I kind of wonder about it, was she didn't switch camp after that last fight.
Really?
Yeah, and she got toe up in that one by Holly Holm, so I'm a little surprised she didn't switch camps,
Right.
or switch something up, and she stayed with the same group, and yeah, it didn't turn out so well. And now there's all this speculation that she might be done and all this, and I was like, here's my deal. It's two things. One, there was a lot of talk about her going to like WWE, and you remember Coach on WWE? Jonathan Coachman? Yeah. Okay. He's with ESPN now. And,
right.
He's a Sports Center anchor. And he still, does like a WWE segment once a week. And he, tweeted out the other day that with Ronda Rousey losing again, how would WWE be able to bring her in and say she's the most dangerous woman in the division? Because she's shown that she's beatable. Now, in fairness, they did the same thing with Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar's last, 4 fights were not good. Taking away his most recent fight, but his 3 or 4 fights or whatever before he went back to WWE, he lost all but one of them, I think, or got beat up pretty good in most of them, So, they can obviously fabricate whatever story they want to fabricate, but I think that he's kind of right, is that I don't know that she would be as much of a draw for WWE as she was. She still would be, because if she could learn to wrestle, she'd still be, good enough. But it's
right.
It's a good point. I think that's one of those things that it really hurt her brand to lose again, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cause obviously she's not in line for any sort of a title picture in UFC at the moment. She's down the list probably 3 or 4 spots now. She's probably 2 fights away from being considered for a title picture again,
Yeah.
And, the other thing is, it's like, on one hand, it's kind of weird because I kind of almost feel like if she were to walk away from the sport, it almost feels like you're like, oh, well, while you're on top, you're whatever, but you face a little adversity and you're like, screw this, I'm going home,
Yeah, what was that thing she said? Like, be a bitch or whatever the fuck that video was. Be a bad bitch.
Yeah, don't be a do nothing bitch.
Do nothing bitch. Yeah. Exactly.
So and again, I wouldn't say this to her face because she'd kill me, but it does kind of make you wonder at this point what'll be done, because from what I've read, she's not really considered a great actress, and
right.
But there's probably a market in action movies,
Yeah, but 2 losses when she was, just ripping people's arms off left and right. That's like, oh shit, let's make her Hollywood.
Yep.
You lose twice.
Right. And same with Conor McGregor right now.
It's going to affect that too.
There's talk on Conor McGregor that he might kind of walk away from UFC. Try to do the fight with Mayweather and then, whatever, because he'd make so much money doing that. He'd never need to work again. He probably doesn't already if he's smart with his money, but...
Yeah, I would think he's fine.
Cause I saw in that fight, the Rousey fight, Rousey got a $3 million payout, which ties her with Conor McGregor for the biggest payouts. So when I said was it a week or 2 ago that she's not worth Conor McGregor money, apparently I was wrong. Well, now I'm right, but at the time I was wrong. But yeah, Nunez made $100,000 on the fight.
It's so ridiculous.
She got the fight bonus and blah, blah. Plus there's pay-per-view money they get a cut of. But still, she got $100,000. Rousey got $3 million on that fight.
Well, that really bothers me more than anything. It's because Nunez is the champion right now.
Yeah.
How you only getting? She was the champion, right?
Yeah,
or she's just the intern.
No, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think she was the champion. Or that's not.
How is she? Yeah. I know she's not as big of a draw, but how is she only getting $100,000?
I agree.
As the champion.
That's.
Yep. Sometimes I don't agree with the UFC payouts.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I kind of feel like I almost feel like there should be a winning and a losing number kind of a thing, to where it's look, if to Rousey, it's look, if you win, you get $3 million. If you lose, you take, let's say, 2, and $1 million of your purse goes over to her. Even something like that, to where it's well, it's still enough money, because clearly that you have to have enough money for them to fight. Because if someone went to Floyd Mayweather and said, "Hey, I'll pay you $50,000 to fight," he'd just laugh you out of the room. He would be laughing so hard he'd
use $50,000 to wipe up his tears.
You're right. He'd probably just hand you $50,000 at the time. Just be like, how about you go away?
Yeah.
But, because they, so you got to have a number that they're still willing to fight for. But at the same time, I kind of feel like there should almost be like a, like I said, it's like, okay, your base fight number is 2. If you win, you get that extra $1 million. Or basically you get 2, she gets $100,000, and then we'll take $1 million. If you win, you get this, but if she wins, she gets it. That way the money we're still paying out the same amount of money, but now there's a little extra on the line aside from just winning the fight. I think it'd be
I would be more inclined to lean with something like that
because the fight
I know
bonus
people are buying
much.
the pay-per-view because Rousey's name is on it.
Oh, for
I
sure.
get it.
Whether you wanted to watch her get crushed or you wanted to watch her crush, people were buying that pay-per-view, And I understand. I'm not saying she isn't worth the money, because when you reach the level she did, you're worth that money, clearly.
Yes.
Otherwise
but,
UFC
at
wouldn't
the
pay.
same time.
I know, but at the same time, Nunez goes out there and mops the floor with you, and you're basically just like, handing her a $5 and saying, hey, here you go, head to McDonald's and get a couple pick 2s, It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. I saw a thing, WWE started a new show this week on their network that is, for lack of a better term, have you ever seen Pardon the Interruption on ESPN?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the format of the show is almost exact, to the point that on the side they have the topic rundown, and they just moved down it the exact same way PTI does. They even called the end of the show the big finish, which is the exact thing that PTI calls theirs. Yeah. They didn't try real hard there. So I was kind of wondering about that. But anyway, they have a guy who's like a radio and a podcast host, is the host of the show. Then they had Paul Heyman and JBL, Bradshaw,
Right.
And they talked about hot button topics from WWE. Like, a lot of fans feel that 3 hours is too long for Raw. Do you think McGregor will ever be in the UFC? Like, these kind of things. So the concept of the show was great, because I think it's interesting to approach these things that people talk about all the time on the internet wrestling groups, The problem I had with it was like, at the same time you had, Paul Heyman kept hyping Brock Lesnar through the whole thing. So it was a shoot, but he was still doing work stuff,
Right.
And I was kind of like, I wish they would drop that. Like, just do a shoot here,
Yeah. So it should be one or the other, not both.
Right. And if you need to not have Paul Heyman and JBL in order for it to be a shoot because you don't want to ruin their character on the program, I'm okay with that. Have some random guy, or have Triple H on there instead, or have some other guy or woman or whatever that's a representative of the company, or some, find a different voice that you can have on there so it doesn't interfere. But it was just kind of weird, because it's like you're addressing a bunch of shoot topics, but you're not completely giving me shoot answers,
Right.
Yeah. But it was an interesting show. But yeah, they mentioned McGregor on there, and both of, Heyman and JBL were both like, yeah, I think he'd be great with WWE. And the podcast host, I think it was like, but he's got to learn to wrestle. Like, you can't just walk in. And then they were making an argument how Floyd Mayweather was at WrestleMania the one time. He came in and fought Big Show.
Right.
So I don't know. It was, and legit broke Big Show's nose because Big Show told him to. So.
Well, that's pretty entertaining.
Have you ever heard? It's a great story. Big Show told it on, I can't remember if it was Jericho's podcast or some other podcast he was on. Real quick, he basically said that, there was a point, I don't know if you remember this or not, like Big Show was down on his knees and basically was begging Mayweather to hit him. Like, go ahead, give me your best shot kind of a thing, right?
Right.
And he told Mayweather ahead of time, he's like, you need to break my nose. Like, hit me as hard as you can, but run afterwards, because I'm going to be pissed. But he's like, but it'll go over great, So Mayweather did, and if you go back and watch, Mayweather crushes his nose. Like, he hits him hard. And Big Show, you can just immediately see Big Show go from like whatever he's doing to enraged. And that's why you'll see Mayweather hits him and then immediately is out of that ring and Big Show goes chasing him. And Big Show was like, he's like, for those who don't know, Big Show's like, what is he, 7'3", 400 pounds? He's a monster of a guy. And, anyway, so he told, or he was like, he goes, if he wouldn't have ran, I would have killed him. And he's like, because I was so angry afterward. He's like, but that's what I wanted. Cause, obviously fans are like, holy shit, and like it added a ton of heat to their match,
That's, I just like the fact that crush my nose and then take off.
And then run.
Because I'm coming for you.
Yep. And I'm not, and like, I'm legit coming for you. So.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a great story. But yeah, so they were kind of arguing, like, could McGregor do something like that to where he does like a one-off? And I was like, I don't know. It's like, I think if you bring in McGregor, I think you'd rather have him around more than just once,
Yeah.
Because clearly he's going to win his match if it's a one-off. I can't imagine he comes in and gets buried. That seems a little weird,
I could see, because he's obviously a gifted athlete.
Yeah.
They could kind of throw some shit together for him to come in and do a little striking or jiu-jitsu on someone.
Yeah.
But mostly just have him do what McGregor does and just talk shit.
Exactly. Yep. Well, that's the thing. The promos could be great building up for it. And like you said, they could get into an environment to where, you probably don't put him in an actual wrestling match. You put him in a street fight or a no holds barred fight, or, you could do a little something like that if you wanted to even, or, cause hopefully they wouldn't go back to the stupid. Do you remember when they did the Octagon fight with, was that Shamrock and was it Owen Hart? I think it was.
I do not recall.
Oh God.
No.
It wasn't an Octagon.
Sounds
because
terrible, though.
UFC owns that, but it was, I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of a cage match basically, but it was between them and it was with like MMA rules. It was really awful.
Dopey?
Oh, it was called a Lion's Den match. Duh.
Oh, cause Shamrock.
Shamrock, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of all that. Some interesting stuff, but going back real quick, it's like, I really do think Rousey's brand took such a hit on that. I'm very curious if WWE will be as interested in her as they were.
Right.
So
I'm going to say probably not.
Yeah.
Honestly.
If so, I think it's gotta be now. I don't think you can risk one more fight with her. Cause if she were to lose again, every time she loses, her heat dies, Like if she could come, maybe come in and just attack somebody on the roster, like have her come in and be a bully. Like she doesn't go after like Charlotte Flair or women who are a little higher level. Like maybe she comes in and just goes after some of the mid card ones and is just a horrible bully, which allows a top level face to come to the rescue essentially,
right.
And that sets a matchup or something. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be a tough sale, for a little bit. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. So.
Especially, like I said, after those losses.
Yep, exactly. Well, and the way she lost. She didn't make a mistake.
Especially his last one.
Yeah,
Jesus.
She didn't make a mistake and get submitted, which happens to almost everybody,
Yeah.
She got beat bad in this last one. In the fight before, she got caught. She was getting beat up pretty good and then got caught by that, that kick.
Yeah, the old decapitator.
Yep. But in fairness, amazing game plans by both of those women going in to fight her, because have you seen any of the footage from this last fight? Like
I haven't watched any of the video, but I've seen a lot of screen caps.
The stuff I saw,
mostly her face getting rearranged.
Well, every time Rousey went to grab it, Nunez pushed back basically, or kicked or something. She kept creating space, which takes away Rousey's best weapon, which is that toss.
Yeah, that hip throw and an arm bar.
Exactly.
Which honestly, it's like. If you do the same, I know it's not the same shit every match, and I know she can, get you in an arm bar from any angle.
Sure.
But if that's your weapon, people are going to not let you grab him.
Well, and again, they know her grappling is amazing. She's an Olympic level grappler. So when she goes to grapple, they kick away from her, they push, they keep creating space so she can't do that. And that's what was going on.
She's not the most legit striker.
Exactly. Whereas Nunez, that's her strength. You know, she's really good at striking.
Like a goddamn wood chipper.
Yeah, so she moved back and then just kept throwing dynamite. You know, it was a great game plan is what it was.
I could tell she was definitely throwing dynamite just by the screen caps.
Yeah.
And the facial expressions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those are posters that Rousey would rather not be part of for sure. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. We've spent a lot of time talking about this. My fault. I told you last week I would, listen to all of the new Run the Jewels album.
Ah, yes. What'd you think?
I loved it. That is some good stuffs right there.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if, people have listened, if you've heard the other Run the Jewel stuff, it was, you know, it's right on par, you know, with that. So, yeah, I was, you know, and quite happy that mine came for free and, you know, legally for free. I didn't pirate it. It was, you know, a reward for being a newsletter member for a long time. So
for being a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, I'm a big fan. I've listened to it a couple times now.
Me too.
And yeah, enjoy the shit out of it.
Me too. Quite happy to have that.
I pretty much don't feel like those guys can do wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, does it? They
you know?
They really seem to know what the hell they're doing. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, between, you know, Run the Jewels 1, 2, and 3. Yes, please.
Yeah, exactly. All of them have been strong. And LP, the producer of all of those, he's the producer of Zach De La Rocha's solo album, which has been rumored to be coming out since Rage broke up, but it's allegedly supposed to come out this year. So
right.
And he's,
allegedly.
Yeah, he's the producer on that. You know, well, he produced the first track, which was it Digging at Windows, I think it's called, which was pretty strong. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell listening to it. You can almost tell that he produced it because it's got a certain vibe to it. So good times.
I feel like I just listened to. Oh no, you know what? Never mind.
All right.
I'm just dumb.
All right.
It was all my random stupid Spotify. You know, here's our things we think you might want to listen to.
Right.
Maneuver.
Right. Maneuver.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, you know, when we were talking wrestling stuff, I forgot. Did you see the video of the Nature Boy deadlifting 400 pounds?
I did. And I'm glad because I saw just a GIF of it on Imager when I was flipping through my phone a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how much he was lifting, but I knew it was a lot.
Yeah.
For a 70-some-old-year-old guy.
He's 67.
67. Well, I'm sure he feels like 104.
Yeah, I would say he looks like he's, 90, but yeah, that's what, all that lifestyle will do to you. But, whew, yeah.
It's still pretty impressive.
It's impressive. Yeah. I've seen quite a few of the WWE guys, like current guys that are like, he deadlifts more than I do,
Right.
So that's pretty cool that even at his age, he's not like dialing it back. Cause why does Ric Flair need to deadlift 400 pounds? I
don't know.
Other than he just wants to, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to. I'm sure he could be in plenty good physical shape without deadlifting 400 pounds,
Well, I do know the deadlift's one of the best overall exercises for your body.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah,
although I did read some of the comments. A lot of people are like, that form looks awfully sloppy, but he's almost 70, and I'm sure I
want those people to say
not what it used to be.
Yeah, right. I want them to say that to his face because I want him to knife edge chop him.
How about they go deadlift 400 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah, then
Assholes.
we can analyze their form. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not shitting on anybody that's going to
Fuck
lift
no.
400 pounds.
Dude, I can't lift 400 pounds no matter what. It doesn't matter. The only way I'm lifting 400 pounds is if you give me some sort of a pulley system that does the work for me.
A system of levers and pulleys.
Yeah. Like something I can like flip a switch and it does it, then yes. But otherwise, yeah, it ain't happening. So I certainly wouldn't shit on him for it. And again, he's 67 deadlifting 400. We're not talking a guy 25 or 30, you know, to where you're like, well, you know, you're at your peak, you know, peak shape here. You know, this is a guy who's well beyond his prime and, you know, still getting after it.
Damn impressive if you ask me.
I agree. I can't wait till that ESPN 30 for 30 on him airs.
Right?
I still haven't read a date for it yet, but
I still can't believe I don't have a Ric Flair sound effect in the soundboard.
And I'm still disappointed in you.
I mean, oh yeah, it's not quite a woo, but it's good.
It's as close as we can get. It's all right.
Really need a woo though.
Yeah. That's what he should have done, was after deadlifting that, like drop it and then be like, woo.
I would have.
I would have too. Hell, if
I just knife edge chop somebody.
No, not somebody. Everybody.
Everybody.
Well, how about this? Everyone around him who can't deadlift 400 pounds.
Yes.
That's
chops for everyone.
That's what they do. They start at like 350 and go in like 20 pound increments. And everybody, when they tap out, he just knife edge chops them until there's a winner, you know?
I like this tournament of champions.
Yeah. Well, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So,
woo.
Yeah. Or to be the man, you got to beat the man, I should say.
Yeah.
Say it the way Mr. Flair.
Oh, dude. I don't know why this just popped in my head. I had a proud papa moment.
Yeah.
Because my lovely daughter just came up with one of the just a great pun.
Nice.
When we were doing the old New Year's thing.
Uh-huh.
Because, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I know I talked to you about it, but I got a spiralizer.
Yeah. Yep.
We've been using the shit out of it.
Right.
And it was Jeannie's bright idea. She's like, I got a awesome idea. Because we had a bunch of the spiralizers because we made some. I don't remember what the fuck we made, but we had a bunch of leftover ones.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we'll take those to the cottage with us and then we'll get like olives and salami and I'll make like a pasta salad out of it.
Sure, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea.
That's a great idea, yeah.
So she threw it together, which, by the way, amazing because, pasta salad is, I like pasta salad. It's good.
Yeah, right.
But when like the next day the noodles and shit are all gummy.
Yeah.
Nah, not this. It just tastes better.
Really? I was actually just going to ask you how long the noodles hold this way.
They're fine.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're like, this is a thing we're going to make now.
Yeah.
This is now a thing in our life.
I need to get one of those.
It works so well.
Yeah, I just need to just go buy one.
Just bite the bullet.
Yeah.
But so we're like, well, what are we going to call this? And a couple names were thrown around and Leah's like, I got it. We're going to call it an impasta salad. Impasta salad.
I like the second time,
Yes.
like saying it the first time and then, emphasizing. That's especially because I'm picturing her as an old Jewish comedian at that point, leaning forward with like, like leaning forward with the cigar or doing the glasses thing, where you like, grab the back, like behind your ear and you flip your glasses up and down.
Go up and down.
Yeah. Impasta.
Get it. That's all I was hearing in my mind. Just get it, imposter. It's like imposter, but not.
Like, I get it.
Like, Jesus, we get it.
We get it already. Quit beating us over the head with it.
But I like the name enough that I was like,
That is a great idea, though. I didn't even think of it for that, and I don't know why.
Yeah, we're making a big bowl of it tomorrow because I have the last of the Christmas things tomorrow.
Sweet Jeebus, still?
Yeah, well, it's my stepdad's side of family at my parents' house.
Oh, okay.
And, it's the crazy hillbilly side of the family.
Perfect. They're usually the most fun.
They are entertaining, but I'm pretty sure we're just really going to support my mom.
Well, that's fine too, though. You know, I mean, mom's been there enough for you. You know,
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we have one more Christmas fucking thing tomorrow. Oi.
Oh man, that's good times though. Well, at least the food will be good.
Yeah, the food will be good.
I mean, you know that. Yeah. So
there'll be some awful food too, I'm sure. Because
Well,
this is the
law of averages.
This side, everyone brings something, so there's always just like food fucking everywhere.
yeah, right.
But at least there'll be plenty to pick from, you know.
Right. Well, and you know for sure, at least by you bringing that you've got something that
Oh yeah.
you know fits your lifestyle versus, you know, eating chocolates and all sorts of things from like
although
before.
I'm sure I'll have something along those lines,
sure.
because you know.
Yeah. I know. You know, we got what? Go ahead.
I got some data for you.
Okay. We talking about
and maybe
the guy from Star Trek?
No, not this time. It depends on what you're into.
Sweet.
Once I get into this.
Nice. Wait.
But I gotta turn my little heater back on. It's getting fucking cold in here.
All right.
But so you know, it's 2017 now,
Mm-hmm.
and every year Pornhub releases their stats for the year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Have you looked at these?
I have not. I've actually
Excellent.
I always forget that they do this, and then I always enjoy hearing the results. So
Excellent, because you know we could play a little game if you want. You can try to guess some of the categories that are popular.
I've got no guesses. So,
but do you want to take just a small wager on how much bandwidth was used just on Pornhub in the year 2016?
Now this is the overall, like the whole internet.
Overall,
all right, because the last time I saw any numbers, Netflix was better than half. So 25%.
Well, no, it's like data wise. Like how many
data wise. Oh, okay. I have no guess on that then. Yeah.
It's 3,110 petabytes.
Okay. I don't know how.
Which is
like after terabyte, I don't know. Does it go tera to peta or?
It says it was just over. It's like 3,110,400,000 gigabytes.
Holy shit.
Of porn. Which, if you break it down, is 99 gigabytes per second.
That's a healthy amount.
And this is streaming, and it's 6 terabytes a minute.
Wow. Do you know what's amazing is, you know, all these numbers keep coming out that people are having less and less sex. Like younger age groups and stuff. And like across the numbers, like across the world, like sex numbers are on the decline. And yet this is going on. It's like,
makes you wonder if people are just beaten off.
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah.
So, number of videos viewed, 91,980,225. Equivalent of 12 and a half videos viewed for every person on Earth.
Wow.
The total visits to their website for last year was 23 billion hits.
Good Lord. Now,
64 million per day.
Well, now I am curious on that, if those are individual IPs or if those are just, you know, if there's repeat customers there.
That I don't know. They don't really, you know.
Right. Like that would be something I would be curious to know, because if those are individual IPs, wow. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Or individual visits, you know.
Do you want to guess the top 3 countries for per capita page views?
See, it's funny because, you know, it's like I want to guess stuff like other countries that like Japan, where the sex numbers are down and stuff, but I don't know if I don't know how their internet works as far as if they have access to Pornhub. So I would say the US is probably in the top 3. But otherwise I don't know. Japan would have been one of my guesses. And
USA number 1.
Of course. Damn right.
USA.
Is Japan one of them?
USA.
Yeah, right.
Japan is not even they're not even in the top 10.
Okay. Wow. Germany?
Negative.
No?
Russia.
I'll
give you the top 3.
Russia.
So USA.
No.
No Russia either.
All right.
It's USA, Iceland, and the UK are the top 3.
Okay.
Aussies and New Zealand are in there.
Naturally.
It's mostly, you know, Canada's number 4.
Every Aussie person I've talked to is just a raging pervert, so I should have guessed that.
Yeah, there you go. This is the fun one though. So, what do you think was the most searched term of 2016?
Oh, Jesus.
I know, right?
Wow, this is a good question.
And apparently it must have been the top last year because they showed rank changes from last year.
Oh, yeah, right. That's one of the reasons I love looking at that, because it's funny to see if it goes up or down. I don't know. My guess would be like lesbian or schoolgirl, something like that.
Boom! Lesbian.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Overwhelming looking at the bar graph. Followed by stepmom and MILF.
Oh, okay. MILF. I thought about MILF, and I was going to go with schoolgirl instead, so I should have went with the others. I would have nailed 2 of the top 3.
My favorite here is up 21 ranks, lesbian scissoring.
Sure.
And a new one for this year, Overwatch. So apparently there's Overwatch porn out there.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't there be? Overwatch is
I know
an
I've
awesome
seen tons
game.
of Overwatch cosplay, but I never really thought about Overwatch porn.
Sure, why not, I guess.
Yeah. Most searched term in the United States. Do you want to go there? It's not lesbian.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
number
figure
2.
it would be lesbian here. I don't know.
It's stepmom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So weird. All right.
I know, isn't it? Let's see here. The Philippines are clocking in at the time spent most at 12 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right.
But the average visit's just 9 minutes and 36 seconds. I think it's hilarious.
Now is that
Japan
number
is on here. They must get it.
Okay.
They're on here for 7 minutes.
Okay, now here's the question. Is that number or that time, is that up or down from last year?
It's up 16 seconds.
There you go. Hey. Well done,
Hey.
everyone.
Hi-yo.
Either the stories are getting better and you're caught up just a little longer, or it takes longer to get to the scenes than it used to, maybe.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you have to wait for an ad, you know?
Do you want to take a gamble, Brian, on which state lasts the longest? Which has the highest, the longest rate on Pornhub?
Jeez. No, I don't have a guess on this.
Mississippi.
Okay.
Oregon, the least. Sorry, Ryan.
Wow. Well, they're just about business there. That's all. You know,
It's all about the business.
just all about the business. Yeah.
Apparently the best time to watch porn, midnight.
Okay, that makes sense. After the kids have gone to bed and the spouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. According to the heat map.
Right.
In the United States, the top 3 searches were stepmom, lesbian, and stepsister,
All right.
which is weird.
We're a bunch of freaks, right?
Yeah. Top gaining search, VR.
Okay.
Followed by Burglar, Star Wars, and Harley Quinn.
Burglar.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if it's
I
Hamburglar,
love
that's
that.
a different story, you know?
I love the, there's a relative search category. It says relative search is searched more compared to the world, the United States. Big booty Latina is number 1.
Obviously. Who doesn't look
Obviously.
for that? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's my warm-up category.
This is interesting too. Jesus. Lesbian overwhelming in the UK. But the top gaining search by 354%.
Yeah.
Giantess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Death by snoo snoo.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess.
Definitely. Yeah.
Canada, lesbian number 1. Top gaining search is VR, followed by virtual reality, followed by burglar, Minecraft, and then surprise cum in the mouth.
Wait.
It's a terrible surprise.
Okay. I was just going to clarify that you didn't put the word surprise in there. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Like you were surprised that one was
Like,
the thing.
what?
Yeah, that's not the case. It was surprise. What the fuck?
I do find this interesting, actually. They're pulling up the stats for India.
Yeah.
Every of their top 10 search is Indian, except for one. It's like Indian wife, Indian college, Indian Bahabini, whatever that is. Indian Bahabini Dafar, Indian actress, teacher, auntie with young, teen, and then just mom.
Huh. All right.
That's kind of weird.
All right. Fair enough.
I also have noticed the overwhelming porn stars have been Kim Kardashian's been number 1 in almost every category in every country.
Really?
Mia Khalifa too, which I haven't seen her. Oh boy, I get it. It's same with Japan. Almost everything in their top 10 searches is all Japan stuff.
Really?
It's Japanese teen, Japanese amateur, Japanese life, just Japan, Japanese massage. It's all Japanese. Japanese amateur ass.
I love
Wow.
it. Do you know,
I love these stats.
I gotta tell you, I'm very disappointed that I didn't hear the words sexy boobies in any of these things.
You would think, right?
Yeah. I'm very disappointed.
You would think.
Yeah.
See here, this is what our pal Oz is into. Lesbians, MILFs, Asians, massage, cartoons, stepmoms, Overwatch.
That all seems
Pretty
accurate.
standard.
Yeah, sure.
Relative search, jerk-off instructions. Who needs that? It's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't even know what's going on with this thing.
It's crazy. Oh, shit. Number one search category in Brazil, Overwatch.
Really?
Beating out the lesbians.
I'll tell you.
Pokemon is number 4. They must love their fucking video games
What
down
the
there.
hell? Like, have they looked at the women there? Why are they worrying about video games?
I don't know. Mia Khalifa is still number 2.
Well, you already explained that.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, Overwatch is number 1 in Russia too.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. You know,
What the fuck is going on
everyone's
here?
wearing those big burly coats there. You know, what are you going to do?
I guess, right? Oh, number 3 in Spain. It's what is going on?
It's popular, man. I'm telling you, it's a great game.
It must be. I've never played.
Well, I played the beta. I can't really
See,
say.
all right, enough of the countries.
Yeah.
There's got to be. This is all just country breakdown. I don't care about the male stars. Sorry.
Terrible.
Yeah, the stats are just great.
Yeah, they are.
And they break down so much shit. I don't know how much longer we want to go in this because it's really getting deep now.
Yeah, we should probably stop because of time, but yeah, the link will be in the show notes and such, so you can, look at your own leisure. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's great. Like I said, I always enjoy these because have you ever, like, I know other podcasts have done this, and I'm not saying we should, just mentioning it. Have you ever looked at their, like, most recent searches or top searches, like, as they're live?
Yeah, sometimes it gets weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, if you ever want something kind of, well, I mean, listen, there's better things to do on Pornhub, but like look up Mia Khalifa apparently, or Overwatch, because
I would.
I must be missing out.
Maybe Mia Khalifa playing Overwatch.
Yeah. That's what
I do. I got one more category I want to
Okay.
do, and then I'll be done.
All right.
Is I have it broke down by age group, and I just found this interesting, and it makes sense. That you go 18 to 24, it goes, I'm just going to do top 3. It goes lesbian, stepsister, teen.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
25 to 34, Japanese, lesbian, stepmom.
Okay.
35 to 44, lesbian, or Japanese, lesbian, stepmom. 45 to 54, MILF, stepmom, Japanese. 55 to 64, MILF, stepmom, massage. 65 plus, MILF, granny, Japanese wife. I just love how MILF became the thing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Right.
'Cause,
Does make sense.
I get it.
Yes.
MILFs
Yeah.
are hot.
That is interesting though, considering that, most people think that, like, especially as like men age, that they start looking at younger and younger women.
Doesn't seem like it. Not
Well,
according to Pornhub.
I'll say this in fairness. I mean, porn has called a MILF, like, any woman who has a kid, basically. So, like there's
This is true.
there's MILF videos with girls that are maybe 22, so, I mean, I've heard, but, so that's kind of weird. And I don't think that was kind of the intention of the word originally. I think it was meant to mean like just under the cougar age, like in
Right.
that range. And I think people have kind of like, oh, they have a kid and they're hot or whatever, they must be a MILF. And it's like, I guess by definition, yes, but that wasn't the intent, I think.
It's like, it always goes back to American Pie, Stifler's mom.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the link will be there. I mean, it's so deep because I'm looking at Pokemon Go searches, video game character searches. They give you every stat you could possibly want.
Wow. That is something.
And it's a nice little insight into the world, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. It's a good time right there. Huh.
Conor McGregor made the top Irish celebrity searches. Good job, Conor.
Yeah, there you go. Just barely beating out Mia Khalifa.
Barely.
Yeah. Barely.
Barely.
Let's see, what else we got here? You got anything else?
No, I mean, besides the last Dude Mountain.
Yeah, I guess.
And the
old Q of the debuts.
Yeah, Q to W, right?
Yeah.
Clear.
Exactly.
Clear.
Yep.
What do you want to do, Dude Mountain or Q to W?
Let's do Dude Mountain. Just kind of keep our format, if you will.
Well, first I and I told these guys I was going to get it on the show because I don't know how, like I said, Facebook being Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
This is from Rob from the Roman Pod and Cast show.
I'm Roman.
And I'm Rob.
And we want to wish Tony and Brian a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from us here at the Roman Podcast.
That's right, guys. We want to thank you for all the good times we're having on the Dude Mountain this year. Looks like we're going to kind of finish strong, maybe finish in the middle of Dude Mountain, so we don't have so much dudeness on top of us. Like kind of like the meat of the Dude Mountain sandwich.
Yeah, looking forward to an awesome 2017. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Thanks, guys. And
it's too bad Facebook sucks.
Well, tell you what, let's just go ahead and wish them a Merry Christmas and New Year in 2017.
I agree.
We're just way ahead of the game.
Happy Boxing Day.
Sure.
And what else do they do in Canada?
Freshly Shaven Yak Day, I believe.
Yeah, Freshly Shaven Yak Day, right. Oh, the migration of the meese?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
Happy Maple Syrup Day, I'm sure.
Mountie Appreciation Day?
Sure. Now, in fairness, that should be every day.
It really should be.
I don't like that people try to commercialize it into one day. Right.
I didn't look, but I can only assume this is a Canadian Pornhub search, but it's, the Canadian Ham Press.
Nice.
Right.
National Craft Dinner Day.
Craft Dinner, right?
Craft Dinner, right. As is tradition.
I believe they just call it a day.
I don't know about that. Now you're just being ridiculous.
I'm just pushing things.
I'm
pushing it
too far, Tony.
All right. So anyway, back to, fuck is it? There it is.
Dude Mountain.
The last time we'll be playing this for for 9 months or something.
Right.
Maybe by 10 I'll have lightning and thunder in it. Probably not. Yeah. Well, all right. Down here at the bottom of the Dude Mountain, just marinating in the juice is our buddy Clint, which we all saw coming since he went about 6 or 7 weeks without updating his team.
Yeah, it's true. He's got a loofah and he's just scrubbing away down there.
It's just an awful shower of awful.
Right, just rolling around like a pig in filth. Just
exactly
loving it.
Yeah. Surprise cum in the mouth, even.
Damn it. Has that supplanted surprise butt sex? Is that the new thing with the kids? The surprise cum in the mouth?
Maybe. I don't know.
Man, terrible.
Yeah. I'm just going to rattle through the top real quick.
Yeah.
So above him, you got Jeff from Hobie.
Okay.
You got the Canadian Beavers, which sent us a lovely message.
Yes.
You got Neil. You got the Dead Toes. Tide of Beagley. The Oregon, the shortest coming state.
Let's just say all business Beagley. Let's just,
all business Beagley.
Yeah, all business
Beagley.
Yeah.
Team Awesome, which is my wife.
Yep.
And then you got Ferge at number 6, FRJ. You got Mr. Jacko, our pal, Steve, from, I guess he's from podcast soon to be coming.
Yes.
You got Big Dev. You got Heno, tied for second with our pal Garrett.
Yeah, Heno and his improbable dogs.
Yeah, I know, right? The dogs, who knew? They're like Scarlet Witch over there throwing out logic and reason.
Yes.
But then number 1, I don't think I've named a team yet.
No, you sure haven't.
Oh, shit. Brian's keeping the trophy home.
The official coronation begins.
I open up a random cabinet at work.
Yeah.
And there's 3 old bowling trophies in it. And I think I'm just going to take one and make it our Dude Mountain trophy.
Nice.
Once I decorate it up a little bit.
Sure, right. It's going to be our Shiva.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Right.
So, yeah, the whatever we're going to call the trophy, Dude Mountain.
Yeah.
Stays in Toledo, in Temperance.
As it should.
In the hand of the Salty King.
The year of the Macho King. Or the Salty King, even. Because, I have decided I'm no longer entering tournaments I shan't win.
That's weird. And your music just killed.
That's
Apparently,
right.
there's someone else is interrupting your entrance.
Wow. Those sons of bitches. Yeah.
But yeah, there's your quick Dude Mountain update. I want to thank everyone for playing.
Right.
It's fun as usual. Hopefully we get a few more teams next year, and we'll do it again. And I'm telling you, I'm getting a trophy.
Fair enough.
I'll even send it to the winner unless you're Canadian, because it might be expensive.
Do you
But I'll
remember
probably send it anywhere.
who won last year? Well, the previous football season.
I do not.
I don't either.
That's kind of why when I saw the trophy up there, I kind of want one so we can put like a name on it.
I think it was Neil or Beagley that won. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was one of those two because they were racking last year. But I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember who though. All right, fair enough. I was just curious, for the archives. Because I figured our trophy should have like a Stanley Cup thing on it, right?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, like on the side or something,
That'd be weird. But all right.
It would be weird.
Yeah.
But I love it.
We just create a digital one or something.
Yeah.
But the stress is finally over, I was sweating it because I didn't have a good final week.
As weird as it is that.
Yeah, because remember, like I said last week, I was like, I'm not getting too confident because one bad week, and I had a bad week, but luckily everybody just about else did too, so I was able to maintain.
Well, you just got to remember, Brian, you were the
cream of the crop.
It's true.
Cream of the crop.
It's true.
Rises to the top.
It's true because I didn't start at the top. I started from the middle. Now I'm here.
Right. We need to cue Drake up.
Yeah, I know, right? Good times. All right, well, let's do some Cue the W, I guess.
Cue the dubs. Last week's was, if you don't know how old you were, how old would you be?
Right.
Basically. I got some Facebook comments here, Brian. Our pal Dev, he says, old enough to know better, but not old enough to care. So like 40.
Yeah, that's
pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
Clint, and I can only assume because he's just bathing in the juices at the bottom of Dude Mountain, says he'd be 28.
The soppy underbroth.
Soppy, but it must be like a youth serum, all that protein.
Yeah, it's true. Clint's never looked better.
Never looked better. There's nothing that makes your skin more supple than like a whole bunch of half babies.
Half babies. You're right.
That's good. That's gonna be my my like moisturizing cream. I'm gonna market. It's called Half Babies. It's just semen.
It's weird though. The bottle, like one pump won't get anything out. It takes a few.
Yeah, it takes a few.
and then all of it comes out.
Yeah. Oh shit! My phone is turn it off.
Shit. By the way, Half Babies is the name of this episode.
Oh, it's an excellent name.
Yeah, for sure.
Hanno says, I'm almost 48, but feel almost 43.
All right. Fair enough. I could see that. He's been using age reversing. I said Hanno's been using age reversing serums, so it makes sense.
Half Baby?
Yeah.
Excellent. Factory or market tested.
Sure.
Jared says, with the way my legs hurt all the time, the back pains, and the acid reflux, I'd say about 60, but a young 60.
So, is he deadlifting 400 pounds, you think? Probably not with the knees in the back, right?
Yeah, let us know, Jared. How's that deadlifting going?
I don't know, man. I mean, Ric Flair's knees and back can't be good.
No, he had plane crashes and all those bumps he took.
Right. Plus all those figure fours that he laid on people. And all the, The strutting around the ring. I mean,
imagine how like thrown off his shoulders are, but wearing them heavy Rolexes.
I know, right? That's true. It's true. And everything was custom.
Custom. But yeah, that's what I got on the old face page.
Fair enough. All right. Well, over on the Twitters, we had a few. One was from Matthew from Passersby podcast. Said he'd probably be as old as he is now. He said his wife would say 12, though, but come on, farts are funny. Accurate. I mean,
It's true.
What are you going to do about that?
Medicinal slacks. That's what you do.
I was going to say, we did about half an hour at the top of the show on farts, as is tradition.
True.
Farts are wrestling. Pretty much going to start one way or the other.
That's what gets the show going.
That's right. Our pal Garrett said he'd be 14. He says, I act like I know how to do my job and what I'm doing, but I'm faking it all. Totally makes sense.
Right.
Terrible considering, he holds lives in his hands for his job. No, I'm kidding. And Mr. Glistens while he works, Neil from Daft Pod, said 38 to 39, but he doesn't say why or anything. So
because he glistens,
I guess. Yeah. Huh. But it's a young 30. No.
But a young 38 to 39.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what I have. No emails or anything else. That's what I got.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I guess that leads into this week's question, which is, what is the dumbest thing you believed as a kid? Because I got a couple ways I could go here.
Oh, geez, man. I don't know. Let's hear yours since you've got.
Well, because obviously there's Santa Claus.
Yeah, sure. But you know what though? I kind of don't feel like that counts because so many people do. You know, I kind of feel like it needs to be a little more, marginalized than that. So where you're in a real small minority or something.
Right. Well, but what I'm going with is, there was one summer where my cousins and I and my uncle Pete, he's like, I'm going to teach you guys this secret code. And it's like the coolest. And we're like, all right, we're all, pretty young.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. So what it is, like, you got to go, oh, wah. And we all went, oh, wah. And he's like, then you go, Tagu.
I knew right where you were
Tagu.
going.
And he goes, Siam. So all summer we're doing this. And months go by of us thinking we're the coolest because we'd be like Uncle Pete and we do the code to each other.
Sure.
And it just turns out you speed it all up because, of course, he was like, all right, guys, I got to break it to you. Speed it up. And it's, oh, what a goose I am.
Yeah.
And we thought we were the fucking coolest kids on the block. God damn you, Uncle Pete.
Oh, shit.
So I think that's probably the dumbest thing I believed as a kid.
That's pretty, I'm having a hard time coming up with something. I'm sure there's plenty. The best I can think of right now is I actually did a tweet on it, which was, as a kid, I could never understand why in the winter you would see like heat come off people's head, but you would never see like farts, So I actually for a long time would try as hard as I could to never fart outside in the winter because I was afraid of of it being obvious that I was farting. So that's about the best I can think of off the top of my head. So, which is ridiculous.
Oh, we open the show. It's how we close the show.
It's so true, right? And now I just wear my medicinal slacks outside. No one knows.
Yep. Nobody knows. No one's the wiser.
What's with that guy with the huge tube off his ass?
Yeah. Why is there smoke coming out of it?
Yeah. Stop it. It's a condition. So,
shit.
That's a good question though. Kids believe really dumb shit too.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at the elf on a shelf.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And my niece and nephew are like, I don't remember what their stupid elf is called at, my in-laws' house, but it's like, let's just call him Spanky.
Sure.
Oh, did you see Spanky? He's in the tree. It's like,
Yeah, okay, watch. Now he's going across the room.
like, oh, look, he's in the garbage can.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hey, do you guys
he's gonna spy on you for air in the garbage can.
Yeah. Hey, does your dad have a wood chipper? Yeah, why? Let me show you a magic trick.
That could be. At the time, I was a little like, because I kind of wanted to do Santa when we first had kids, but not looking back, I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we've just been straight shooting of our kids ever since, and it's awesome.
Right. And that's fine as long as people, along with it, it's like, look, there's no Santa, but don't ruin it for other people, basically,
Yeah.
Let them believe whatever.
Oh, you know what? I got one that I didn't work for me as a kid, but worked for me as a parent that I'm just going to throw out there.
Okay.
It's a what kids believe because they're dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Fair
enough. Yeah.
Is the old, I'm going to sit down and play video games and I'm going to hand you a controller that does nothing.
And not just video games. I've seen people do that with cell phones, with remote controls for the TV, where there's no batteries or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm playing a game and, like Logan's next to me thinking we're like fucking shit up.
I remember you doing that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good call on that one.
So I guess I did pull some shit over her eyes.
What are you talking about? You did. That's like all you do.
That's true. Oh, that's true. That's kind of in my nature.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't outright lie to them, but I will pull some shit on them.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in good fun,
Dude, I've had this little red squirt gun sitting on top of my kitchen cabinet for months.
Yeah.
And like 3 or 4 weeks ago, Leah's like, what is that red thing up there? Like, in the morning getting ready for school.
Yeah.
I went, oh, let me show you. And I grabbed it and just started squirting her.
Naturally, yeah.
She just stares at me. You're a jerk.
It's like, how old are you? You're just now realizing that? Come on.
Exactly. And Logan's like, how long has that been up there? And why is it there? And I'm like, just in case I need it.
Yeah. You should have shot him too. Like every time they ask you or something.
And it's still up there.
Yeah. I'm surprised one of them hasn't moved it or shot you with it.
It's honestly, it's been sitting up there full of water just for the perfect opportunity for me to assassinate one of them, basically.
Nice. Well, it makes sense. I mean, you can't wear your garters all the time, so you need somewhere to put the gun.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Real quick before we wrap up the show, and this doesn't need to be any sort of long conversation, but I finished Westworld finally.
Oh,
so
excellent.
I,
how many Channing Tatums? We'll keep it simple.
Yeah. I definitely, I'd put it up probably 8, 8.5, 9 maybe, somewhere in there. I really, really dug it, and very curious to see if or what they do going forward. Because I don't know if there's plans for a second season of it or not. So
there is, but it's not supposed to be until like 2018 or something.
Oh, geez, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And I've heard rumors saying that like one of the rumors I heard is the sequel is going to be like in Samurai World.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently they have like Rome World. They have different worlds.
Oh, okay. I was wondering that too, because I was like, they kind of told the story here. So
yeah,
I will say one thing, and I'm not spoiling anything, but well, I guess I could be. So potential spoilers, even though I'm not going to give the details. I saw one of the major twists coming a mile away. Like I actually figured it out probably in the 3rd episode, and fuck it, I'll just go ahead and say it. Spoilers. I can't think of the guy's name now. The black guy with the glasses. Like I figured out that he was not, or that he was the other guy's, basically a version of his partner, essentially.
Right.
Like I kind of saw that coming from a mile away, but But yeah, good stuff. I will say I didn't see the, again, spoiler. I didn't see the Ed Harris thing coming.
Right.
So
that was the one Jeannie saw from like.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It makes total sense. After it happens, you go, oh my God, they pretty much walked you right to it.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and rewatch it again now that you have insights just to see how people interact with each other and shit.
Yeah. Me
But
too.
I don't know, I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm you know, if it is 2018, then I will patiently wait for season 2.
Right on. I also this week, because finally Netflix dropped It's Always Sunny's last season in there.
Oh, nice.
Because the new season debuted this past Wednesday. What sucks is they dropped the new season or previous season on Tuesday. And it's like, yo, there's 10 or 12 episodes. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I binged them in one night, but most people are not going to be able to do that to be ready for the next season. They should have had them out the week before.
Yes.
That way you
agree.
could be caught up on them. But so it's like I'm behind a week on It's Always Sunny. So I'm probably just, I don't know if it's on the app or not, but I'll probably watch it. That way I can start watching it, each week. So, but
right.
Man, is that show good. I love that show so much.
It's a quality show.
So much. Yep. So, all right. Yeah, that's what I got there.
All right.
I forgot we usually do the what we've watched thing, and we didn't do that. So,
we were too busy talking about Medicinal Pants and
right.
Half Babies.
Oh man, Medicinal Pants is a good name too, but Half Babies is the winner. All right. One last thing before we get into the spiel. It kind of relates, because normally at this point I'm like, hey, go to saltylanguage.com, which you should anyway. But go to the newly redesigned saltylanguage.com.
Damn straight. And make sure you turn off your goddamn ad block.
Yeah, Tony found that out.
As much as I hate bitching about that. Because apparently the issues I had a long time ago, I'm like, where'd my Amazon stuff go?
Yeah.
If you have your ad blocker on, Amazon and a couple of our other affiliate sites don't show up.
Right.
And we don't have pop-ups or trackers or cookies or anything.
Right.
But it would be cool if you turn off your ad blocker to help us out. It just blows my mind that it blocks it even when I'm editing the website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what was fucking me up, because I'd place the HTML and it'd just be an empty block.
Oh, that's really weird.
And I'm like, why is this not working? And I dug through so many forums until I found someone who was like, oh, I turned off my ad blocker and it worked fine.
Wow. It's amazing that you had to dig to find that. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't even because we go through Wix.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on a Wix forum. It was on an Amazon forum that I finally found it.
You'd think, as common as ad blockers are, that somebody would have figured that out, and that would be pretty essentially common knowledge,
Yeah. And that's been driving me crazy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but I'm glad I figured it out.
All right, well, so and those links are everything on the site now essentially scrolls. So and those links are at the very bottom, I believe, or almost the very bottom, right, for the Amazon and stuff. So if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, please swing by the site and scroll to the bottom and click on the Amazon banner there. And again, if you do have an ad block thing, you can disable it for just our site if you would, because like Tony said,
you just allow that website in.
Yeah, there's no pop-ups, nothing malicious. It's just so that you can see those things.
Well, there is our malicious, stunning, good looks.
Well, I mean, but your ad blockers is not going to block all that anyway. We're too powerful.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So, all the links are on there, the show notes, the all important merch tab if you want to go get a shirt with, our name on it. Fortunately, we don't have signed 8x10s in right now, but we're, we'll see if we can get
working
something
on it.
Yeah, like, us just doing like a Christmas sweater picture. So yeah, all the links are there. If you want to contact the show, what am I saying? The links towards the bottom also for the networks that we're part of.
Oh shit!
Such as the Tangent Bound Network, Geek Life Radio podcast list. What am I forgetting, Tony?
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment, yeah. Am I still forgetting?
Indeed.
Why do I feel like I'm still forgetting one?
That's it, man.
All right, fair enough. I'm not.
Yeah, not until we decide to join more networks.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
All right, so with all that, if you want to contact us, again, links are all on the website if you need anything. Also, you can contact us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
I am at Monotony when my phone lets me know you tweeted me.
That's fair.
Yeah, and salty_language on Snapchat if you're into that jazz.
Right. I'm Ninjitsu on Snapchat if you want to follow me. On Instagram, we're Salty Language, right?
Salty Language Pod, I think, on Instagram. No, just Salty Language.
Okay.
Just Salty Language.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Salty Language Pod is on YouTube's.
Right, there you go. And so yeah, again, all the links are on the website. So if you can't remember, just hit up the site and you can find them there, or hit us up on Twitter or something. Say, hey, help us out.
Shit's all there, son.
Yeah. Also, if you're on iTunes, swing by and leave us a review, if you would, and make sure you're subscribed.
5-star ball wash?
5-star ball wash, yeah. Make sure you're subscribed so you get the new episode every week, and enthusiasts as they drop. And
I guess we haven't mentioned in a while. Stitcher, iHeartRadio.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all over the goddamn place.
We're on a lot of that stuff. Links to a lot of that stuff are in the show notes if you need them. And, yeah, I guess with that, have a beer, you'll be fine. Oh, wait.
Oh, shit. What?
We forgot one thing.
We did?
Tony, what if somebody just wants free stuff?
Oh, you're talking about the free podcast garbage at gmail.com.
Of course.
Feel free to email that, and I will eventually send you some garbage.
See, the best part is that you don't send it right away. That way, it'll be like a nice surprise at some point.
This is true.
They'll be like, why do I have this powdered cover package from someone named Tony? And, then who knows? They'll get a stomach virus.
It's like if you're an Amazon Prime member and you get that free 2-day shipping.
Mm-hmm.
This is like shitty Amazon Prime.
Right.
Where you'll get free stuff,
but
it's not, the shipping's not guaranteed.
No. And, if you act now, maybe I'll send some of my stomach virus.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. So, all right. So now with that, I'll say have a beer. You'll be fine.
I'm going to say stay salty.
And remember your medicinal pants.
Always.